we really know how to help a brand become better, right? And so that's one of the things when you go to a trade show and you talk.
Hey, welcome back to the Amazing Freedom Amazon Seller Podcast. My name is Nate Slamans, joined by Andy Slamans. And Andy, how you been the last couple of weeks? You went from a kind of whirlwind trip in Vegas with our COO, Steve, and since then came back and were laid completely knocked out for a week of being sick. Kind of walk us through that from a business owner standpoint, kind of the whirlwinds, sometimes the ups and downs of those crazy weeks.
Yeah, it was really good to be back on the floor of trade shows. That's what we were doing. We were in trade show world. This was the first time I've been to a trade show, I believe, right, since COVID hit 3 years ago. It was really good to be there. It was a big show. Met a lot of different potential suppliers. So the goal for us going to this trade show is we wanted to discover at least 5 new potential products that we could launch on Amazon. Thankfully, we were able to do that. We were actually probably able to, 10 times that. It was a good show. Just meeting people face to face, there's no replacement for that. Oftentimes on thomas.net, I'll email suppliers, never hear anything back. I'll try calling, and these are USA domestic suppliers. For whatever reason, it can be extremely difficult to get a response from them. But when you meet somebody, you're able to shake their hand in person. You're able to get a picture with them, get their business card, give them your business card. There's a connection there, and it just seems like a lot easier process to establish a relationship with a potential supplier. So we were able to do that. It's really good. We were there for 5 days. I came back and I got slammed by the flu. So I was like on my back for 7 straight days. I lost 14 pounds in 9 days. So if I could bottle that up and sell it on Amazon, we would be billionaires, Nate.
Yeah, that's one way to hit your New Year's resolution is just get sick and lose all the weight. I want to stick on the trade show for a minute because, like you said, this was your first trade show in 3 years. I think it's always a battle in my mind, and probably anybody selling on Amazon, whether it's worth it to go to these types of shows. We talk about all the time, but it really is an investment, both financially and a time investment. And so we had a very clear goal heading into it, which I definitely recommend anybody that attends any show or any event in general. It could be like an Amazon meetup, to have a list of top priorities heading into the event that you want to accomplish. Otherwise, it can just be a whirlwind week or weekend and really pass with a lot of activity, but no specific wins. And so you mentioned we wanted to find 5 new products. We exceeded that. And then the other big thing we wanted to find, and maybe you mentioned it, was just a lot of new suppliers that could make products. And this is what I found very interesting from your time there, and I think you thought was unique, was how many Chinese suppliers were at the show. And because of COVID, because of China being locked down the last couple of years, I think more and more suppliers are basically setting up booths at these shows across, could be any show. I think we'll see this more and more. You said, these were your words, you felt like it was a mini Canton fair there. So maybe just speak to that, how this was different than any show that you saw prior to 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think because China's been closed for the last 3 years, right? It's very hard for international travel. So they haven't had a lot of trade shows there. We know that in China, the Canton Fair is the world's largest trade show in the world. So a lot of these manufacturers, again, have just really been relegated to connecting with customers online, through Alibaba or through the different websites. And, for them, again, when they have their trade shows at the Canton or at the Yiwu market, that's where they really connect with their international customers. So at this trade show we were at, I was sending Nate pictures and videos. It really felt like there was one just giant section, and it felt like I was in Guangzhou at the Canton Fair. All the suppliers, were there from China, trying to connect again with buyers here in the US that they haven't been able to face over the last 3 years. So thankfully, China is opening up. So as I was talking to the different Chinese suppliers there, they were letting us know that in April, the Canton Fair is going to be open as of right now, and international travel is going to be flowing back. China needs it desperately, right? Their economy has been hurting. All those suppliers there are looking forward to it. So it sounds like this April, again, the trade show market or circuit in China is going to be back on track.
And I mean, we haven't really talked about it a whole lot. What does this mean, I guess, for you? China opening back up, is this on your radar to go visit again? And if so, how much of it would just be for existing supplier relationships that we have versus doing what we've done in the past, trying to either go to like a Canton Fair or just meet new suppliers? And seeing how many suppliers are now coming to US trade shows, like, would your strategy change if you were looking to set up a new brand today for a whole new private label business? What would your strategy be?
Yeah, I think, pre-COVID, we had a really good rhythm. I think I was going about twice a year, and it was definitely profitable. So I'm looking forward to it opening up again. Probably not going to go in April. I would like to go in October. And, we've said this on a number of our podcasts. What you can experience in Asia is generally they're about a year ahead on a lot of the newer products that haven't hit the Western market yet. And so, if you're pretty good at sourcing, you can find some new products, some new prototypes, right, that haven't hit. And that's the real advantage of going over there. In addition to obviously continuing and building the relationship that you have with your supplier that always centers around quality, always quality control with the whatever products that you're producing. So we had some really profitable trips, some really good relationship building. So yes, I for sure look forward to going back, continuing to build relationship with the suppliers that we have there, and then just looking for those new products, right, that haven't hit our market yet.
Yeah, makes sense. We mentioned this, I think, a couple weeks ago, but we are definitely, one of the things top of mind in our business is we're trying to close this exclusive deal with a distributor, which there was a lot of those at the show that you saw too, right? So this whole kind of trade show world still, or U.S. Either manufacturers or network supply, the supply distribution supply side of the business is still relatively new to us in some ways, but we're trying to close this really big exclusive distribution company that we're working with. Maybe just talk through some of the main things that you're seeing with that, and maybe a couple tips that you would have for anybody listening if they wanted to, if they thought this might be in the cards for their current private label business at some point as well.
Yeah, so I think you and I over the last 10 years, we've become pretty good at a few things. One is I think we're really good at Amazon selling. And so when we go to these trade shows and we meet, the different folks there that are that have booths, like that's really one of the ways that we can help these people if they don't have Amazon experience. Maybe they have their products, and they're being sold by 10 different Amazon sellers, but nobody's really representing the brand properly. One thing that you and I have done really well is like we know how to sell on Amazon, and we really know how to help a brand become better, right? And so that's one of the things when you go to a trade show and you talk to these folks at the booth, you definitely have to bring value in some way. And so that's the way we're able to bring value. I can show them clearly, like our brand on Amazon, and they're able to see the 4.5-star reviews, and they're able to see the customers, right, that rave about our brand. And I can say, hey, look, if you're able to make this product for us, we can do the same thing. We can push your product to the top of search for whatever keywords that we want to do. We're really good at that. The second thing that we've become really good at, which I think is probably unintentional, is we become pretty good manufacturers. So it's definitely probably not in your and I DNA, but just through what we've done over the last 10 years, we've kind of become pretty good at working, right, with overseas manufacturers to develop a very good quality product. And so because of that, because of the reviews that we have on our product, because of the fans out there that talk about our products, we are now, in year 5.5 or 6, starting to make it into the hallways of these very large distributing companies who are coming to us. So this is not us outbound calling. They are calling to us and they are asking, hey, look, could you produce this product for us? So again, these are companies that have great distribution, right? So they're salespeople, they have boots on the ground, but now they're coming to us because they see the reviews and the quality of our product, and they're saying, hey, look, could you produce an exclusive for us? And so that's what we're in the middle of, working with our amazing COO, Steve. He's spent a lot of time on this project. We're almost to the finish line, but he's been able to tell this company like, hey, look, we will help you produce an amazing product. We're going to stand behind the product. We're right here in the USA, based in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Any issues that you have with your product, Steve says, you're going to call me and we're going to fix it. We're going to handle it. And so that's very exciting, because one thing that we don't have is distribution off Amazon yet. We do okay direct to consumer, but we haven't really nailed that distribution channel off of Amazon. So this is going to be kind of our first foray into working with a really large company, into producing a product and really being the manufacturer for them, branding the product under their brand, and then seeing that product get distributed in other channels that we're not currently in. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and I think you answered my question by saying, hey, how do you initiate or try to get a distributor interested in your product the way that this company was and came to us? And you said it by having good customer reviews on Amazon and showing that we take care of the customers through a really good customer support process, and then really trying to dive deep in a niche where we start to become known in that niche for our products. So people who are entrenched in that space, sometimes I think this company we're working with is a 50-plus-year-old company. They've been around for a long time. They know the industry really well, and they see that we're making waves in this space. I think that helps as well. Any other tips that you would have through this process, besides having someone like a Steve to help in the communication process, is very important too. But any other tips there?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's very different because Amazon is so fast. We're able to get product on there. We're able to get it to the top of search relatively quickly, and it just moves. Whereas a process like this, when you're dealing with a legacy company, that's 50 years or older, there's a lot of hoops and a lot of meetings that have to happen before they're going to sign that dotted line where you are going to become, a manufacturer for them, or you're going to become a vendor for them. So that process is definitely eye-opening, I think, for you and I. It's much slower, but at the end of the day, it could potentially enlarge really our footprint in areas that we're not in. So that's why we're really excited about it.
Yeah, there always seems to be one more phone call that needs to happen, or one more piece of information or certification or whatever it is. So expect that process to be a little painful if you go down it. All right, well, hopefully that's helpful. This is real stuff that Andy and I are dealing with every single day. Some of the challenges we're wrestling with, or the decisions we're trying to make, and that's what we're going to keep trying to bring back to you on the podcast every week. If you currently sell on Amazon and you want to learn some of this stuff better, or just be updated, or you want to get started, whatever your situation is to make money on Amazon, make sure you go to AMZProfessional.com, sign up to be an insider. You'll get our weekly newsletter where we really break down a lot of this in better detail. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next episode of the Amazing Freedom Amazon Seller Podcast. See ya.